Hello.
Judge.
Hi, you're chewing like a cow in the field. Why are you chewing gum up here?
I'm sorry. Give me a spit out.
Hi, I'm chewing it loud.
Here you go.
That's okay. Nobody, nobody knows unless somebody tells them.
Yes, ma'am.
So let me see here.
Judge, may I?
Mhm.
There was a status report for early dismissal and discharge
Mhm.
submitted back in November.
Mhm.
At that time, Mr. Smith had not been on probation for 5 years yet.
Mhm.
And so you said to reapply at the 5-year term.
Mhm.
ADA Garahan also opposed the application at that time. He opposed it again.
Mhm.
After speaking with him, he indicates he's opposing it
Based
because
upon
of
offense.
yes, based on the offense. So we did resubmit last month.
Mhm.
And it was denied again. But I spoke with you, Judge,
Mhm.
and kind of gave you the background on Mr. Smith. And you said to bring him in and you would like to speak with him.
All right. When you drug tested today, what are the results going to be?
I'll pass.
All right. So I want a UA today. He can go to felony drug court, see if they can give him a UA today. And then before we leave here, State.
Yes. This is not in here, but he's the one that I've been talking to.
Before he leaves here today, because there are Facebook posts that were in the stipulations. What does your Facebook look like now?
I don't post anything on Facebook now.
All right, let's let them see if you have no objection. Let them see your Facebook page and let's see what's in it in the last time you posted.
That's fine.
All right, so we're going to do that, do a UA, and then if all comes back clear, you're going to tell me your story about how you changed, and I'll make a decision on terminating you early.
Yes, yes,
And
ma'am.
thank you for dressing appropriately for court.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
all right. Okay, all righty. All right, so I see your smile. So everything went well?
Yes, Judge. Mr. Smith's UA was negative.
Hmm.
ADA Garahan went through his Facebook. No concerns.
Okay, so tell me about yourself. What have you been doing? What are your plans?
Actually, I have a letter. Can I read it?
Mm-hmm.
Dear Honorable Judge
All
Boyd.
right, everyone, please whisper.
Okay. Dear Honorable Judge Boyd, thank you for the opportunity to be on probation instead of time in prison. Over the course of being on probation for the last 5 years, I have learned to better my life and build a career for myself in the automotive industry. Through probation, I have learned self-control, discipline, and patience. I took things for granted and I made bad mistakes that hurt people. And I ask for your forgiveness and the forgiveness of those people. My time in the Bexar County Jail changed my life. The Lord saved me from death by putting.
Hold on, this is where the story flips. What started as punishment is turning into purpose. Jail didn't just confine him, it redirected him. But here's the real question. Is this transformation deep or just something he's saying to impress the court?
Putting me in the jail. That is what I believe. Through jail, I became connected with Cornerstone Church, which was the stepping stone into my faith today. The Lord motivated me to better my life. I went back to school and graduated from St. Philip's College with an associate degree of applied science in automotive technology in May of 2024. Since the beginning of school, I've worked at multiple automotive shops to gain experience and certifications. I currently work at Freedom Chevrolet, and I've been there since January of 2024. I have learned to live on my own, pay rent and utilities. I plan to go further with a relationship with God and Jesus. I have goals and dreams set for my life. I want to use my gift of working on cars to help people who need it. And I ask you humbly consider my request for early termination so that I may move past this part of my life and show my family that I have successfully changed and completed my term of probation. Thank you, Honorable Judge Boyd, for your time and listening to me. I give God all the glory for the change in my life.
That right there, that's a near-perfect redemption pitch. Education, stable job, faith, accountability, he's hitting every single factor judges look for. But here's the tension. Courts don't reward words. They reward proof. Has he truly earned early termination, or is the judge about to test him?
And I give Jesus all the credit for being where I am today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm so proud of you. I'm glad you were able to turn your life around. And what I can tell you is normally, I'll do early termination, but you have to show me something. You have to show me that you've changed and that you won't be back here
Yes.
for anything and that you're going to be a law-abiding citizen.
Yes, Judge.
All right, probation, what has he completed?
Judge, I like to point out that he had no prior criminal history. He has maintained full-time employment as well as completing with his associate's degree. His field visits were completed. There were no issues during those field visits. There was an 11 p.m. curfew implemented upon being granted probation. He completed that with no issues. 200 community service hours were also completed. He's met all of his financial obligations, all of his UAs, with the exception of a couple of diluteds back in 2022. But all of his UAs have been negative, Judge.
And he was negative today.
He was negative today, Judge. We just think at this time, he is a good candidate for early termination.
Right. And there's no restitution, correct?
No, Judge.
And there it is, the moment everything was building toward. Early termination granted. But listen carefully. The judge isn't celebrating, he's warning. No more safety net. No more probation officer. Now it's just him versus his choices. So let me ask you, do you think he stays on this path? Or do people really fall back into old habits?
All right. Well, congratulations. Here's the thing, don't go out celebrating everything that you needed, the discipline you needed to successfully complete this probation. You're still going to need that discipline in real life because let me just tell you, you're not going to have a probation officer looking over your shoulder where you're saying, oh, if I do this, I'm going to get in trouble with probation. You're going to have to do that on your own. You understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
But what I can tell you, if there are any obstacles that come up in your way and you need some advice, if I'm here, you can still come back here and ask me, okay?
Thank you very much, Your Honor.
All right, your probation is terminated. Good luck.
Thank you so much, Your Honor. I appreciate it. And I want to say one thing, if I
Sure.
can, before I go. When I first was here, I don't know if you remember, it was in 2020. I sat in those seats over there, and it feels good today having my freedom and not having to go back to the Bexar County Jail or back to prison or in prison. And I thank you for giving me that chance of being out to see my family and to show my family that I can change. And when I was here, I told you at that time that I gave my life to God. And you had told me at that time, when I first got probation, that a lot of people, when they get out of the jail, they say they believe in God and they follow religion, but then they go right back. I wanted to prove everyone that thought that wrong. And I wanted to prove the people that thought I was going to go back to jail wrong.